So, if you own or work in a service business and you're not getting the steady flow of leads that you would like to have, and you're constantly stressed about getting new business, there could be a few key issues at play that we need to resolve. In this video, I'm going to show you how to resolve those issues from the ground up organically. So, there are countless ways to run paid lead generation. You can run paid social ads, you can do mailers, you can do newspaper ads, flyers, all this kind of stuff. But if you don't have the proper foundation set up for your business, you're just throwing money in the trash. So let's get in the mind of a customer for a second. Let's say you own a house and you go to your mailbox one day. You get a flyer for a local plumber, but you don't really need any plumbing work done. Sure, the flyer has a discount. You're like, oh, maybe I could do work. Maybe I could contact them. But most of the time, that flyer is going in the trash. On the flip side, let's say you wake up one morning, your kitchen is flooded and your kitchen sink sprung a leak. The first thing you're going to do, search on Google. You're going to go to your phone, you're going to go to Google, and you're going to search local plumber in my area. Now, that's if you don't already have a connection or someone you know that's a plumber. This is just a new plumbing service. When you're seeing all those listings, what catches your eye? What drives you to actually reach out to that company? Well, it's consistent branding, it's a fully fleshed out profile, it's good reviews, it's good photos, it's everything you need can be visually seen about the business and instills trust in, yes, I should reach out to that business. So that's kind of a segue into the first step, and that is having a proper Google business account set up. Now, keep in mind, we're going to talk about three things in this video, and it's not something where it's like, oh, I'm going to do 1 and 3, or I'm only going to do number 2. All three of these things work as a package deal to help elevate your business, instill trust, and increase your reputation online. If you don't already have a Google business profile, just search Google business profile, should be the first one, get listed on Google. This is very important if you're a new business and you haven't set this up yet, or if you're an old business and you're like, wow, I didn't even know this was a thing. Stop what you're doing, go set up a Google business profile right now. You can sign into your Google account, and this is where you can fill out your information on hours, your name, all that kind of stuff. And once you do that, we're going to go back over to Google and I'll show you what that looks like. So we're going to search plumber in Denver, Colorado. And what this is all these Google business profiles pop up with a map, and you can see right off the bat their name, their reviews, how many years they've been in business, or like a few like key things. Wow, 50 years in business. That is great. You can see their hours and their phone number, as well as some call to actions for visiting their website, getting directions, or just directly scheduling. So when you're setting up your Google business profile, I would recommend you check the option for scheduling directly through Google. That's just an easy way to generate leads, and the easier it is for a customer to contact you, the more likely they will be to reach out. But as you can see here, other than the sponsored one up here, which you can run ads to get your name higher up in the listing, which may be something to consider if you have a marketing budget, but let's take a look at the organic ones. All three of the organic ones, they have good reviews. They're above 4.8. They have everything fleshed out for their website. They have all the information ready to go, and they're open. So Denver is going to be very, very competitive. There's going to be a lot of plumbers. It's a big city. But as we can see through the map here, there also are options where the businesses pop up. So people can see, oh, I live right here. This one's pretty close to me. That may be a contributing factor to what they pick. But also, whenever they hover their name, you can see here, it shows up as photos, their hours, their reviews, and their name. So within your Google listing, you want to make sure you have enticing photos or photos at all. See, this one's really nice. So you hover over this one and it's got their logo. It's very clean with their trucks. It's very enticing to click on. As opposed to this one down here, a Perfect Plumber LLC, it's just got a stock photo. So that's a stock photo. Is the second photo even theirs? Is that another stock photo? Do I have trust in this company that they're actually legit? I don't know. But I think this one is a great example. So it's got, let's click on it. Their photos have their branding, have their trucks. You can see their team. They've even got a testimonial right here. I don't know why it's not selecting, but they got a testimonial. They've got their team. They've got a discount. That is a great idea to have a discount or a price point or some call to action to be like, oh, $89 drain cleaning. Let's check on them within the photos themselves. And then they also have testimonial photos of previous work, more lifestyle photos. It's really good to have a mix of videos, reviews, deals, lifestyle, and team photos. It just creates more of a sense of reputation. And that this is a lot of photos right here. This is a great example of something you would want to model after. You've got your hours clearly laid out. Whenever you have a holiday hour or special hours, you got to be good about updating those, because let's say it's Christmas, someone searches for a plumber in Denver and they're like, I need to know if they're open on Christmas. Updating that on Google is a great way to get holiday leads. So after the customer finds your business on Google and they're like, yes, everything looks good, everything looks clean, professional, I want to reach out to this company. They can do a few things. They can either schedule directly through Google, they can call. If they're from the younger generation, they may not call, they may go to your website instead. But this is the next step of the funnel, is your website, and leads into step 2 of generating more leads, having a clean website. So a website, you want it to be properly branded that matches your Google listing. So when you go from the Google listing to the website, this is clearly the same business. We see the same trucks. We see the same color scheme. Color scheme, logo, same appearance is very, very important when developing your brand and increasing your reputation. So you want your website within like 2 seconds, you want the viewer to recognize what you do. So a big header here with the big truck over here, the best plumbing, electrical, and HVAC services in Denver, Colorado. So immediately I know they do those 3 things and they're located in Denver, Colorado. There's also some reputation buildup. Let's close this over here. 15 years in business. Oh, you can't see it because my face is in the way. 15 years in business, serving Denver, Colorado since 2012. So they also, again, under my face, have a little text option. And so if someone is shy and they don't want to call you, it's always good to have some nonverbal communication services set up, either through a input box or text services with an automatic chat bot. Let me move my face again. We can see it's super easy to reach out, just enter your name, mobile phone message, and then you can reach back out to this customer and they could just quickly send a text. So now that we know what the company does and it is what I'm looking for a plumber. Within this one screen right here, we have 4 options to reach out. Let me move my face again. I keep having to move it. So we have the text us button down here. We've got the phone number right here so they can call directly. You've got a button for request service. And then also in the header, which is important to have an option in the header to reach out, we have the phone number again. So 4 options, 4 call to actions to reach out. Make it as easy as possible for your customer, because your customer, they just care about getting the problem fixed and they need it quick. So they need options to reach out. So this right here may have captured some customers, but let's say some are still skeptical. They want to learn more about your business. They're going to continue to scroll. Oh, look at that. Another contact form. So if you don't want to reach out through phone, through text, through all that stuff, they have just another option right here for your phone number, for email, your name, and the service needed. Easy as possible for the customer. Multiple call to actions. And I would assume that this would capture the most people without even having to visit the rest of the website. So over here, we have over 6,000 reviews, just another reputation solidification. Just everything is drawing the customer saying, we are trustworthy, reach out. And then down here, reputable home service experts near you, with a quick little description of their business. Now, this is a big wall of text. I don't know if I would recommend that because no one's going to read this. I do see Home Advisor Best of 2020 award right here, finalist for 2020 BBB service business. I would maybe bring those out as icons or bullets just so that's more easier to see. I just happened to see that because I was looking for it for this video. But yeah, no one's going to read all this wall of text. And then we go down here. If the customer still hasn't been convinced about your business and they haven't reached out, we do have some incentives right here. $600 off tankless water heater. Man, I might need that myself. $500 panel upgrade. So schedule now. It takes you to the contact form. And then hopefully you can capture that lead. So this homepage, super easy to reach out. There were multiple call to actions that told me everything I need to know about this business before even having to like check out other things. Now, if I do want specific things like plumbing repair, they do have sub pages, which are very, very important for SEO. It's always good to have pages specific for your services so people can search for that specific service on Google, and Google will see that page and promote it. And then, of course, same situation. If you click on this for plumbing repair, it's got the same information: Denver, Colorado, the location, plumbing repair, and more call to actions, more 15 years of business, solidification of a reputation, and then contact form with more information. So everything about this website is built to capture leads. Everywhere you scroll, you can always see somewhere to reach out. So that's the first two things. We looked at the Google business page. If you properly set that up, it'll push it up the rankings over time as you get more reviews, as you fill out more information. And then that will funnel to your website, which your website is just one big call to action to get people to reach out. But there's another organic way to generate leads, and that is through social media. As you can see down here, they have all of the socials, which I would recommend you have as well. This is a good company. I'm going to continue to use it as an example. We're going to look at their social presence. So, social media is different than Google listings, where it's all about showing your business, being like, hey, reach out. It's all a funnel for people to reach out. Social media is more for building up a following, letting people know about the inner workings of your business, showing company culture, building up rapport with the viewer. And if they subscribe, let them feel like they're connected to you, like they're part of your family, like you're important to them, not just a customer. Because people will follow, and over time, as they follow, as they interact with your social profiles, they will feel more comfortable reaching out. So social media is more of a long-term tactic to build up an audience that feels comfortable using your services. So this goes back to in the very beginning when I said get in the mind of a customer. If they wake up, their kitchen is flooded. Social media, if you've already built up their reputation, instead of them saying, oh, I need to look on Google for a listing, they can say, oh, I've been following High Five on Instagram. I kind of want to use them. I feel comfortable using them. Let me reach out to High Five because I've already built up the rapport on social media. Also, I just realized there, so it says HI5GH. Make sure you have no mistakes like that in yours. Just make sure everything is clean and professional, and there's no like spelling mistakes or visual mistakes like that. That's not a major thing. I just caught that. So just make sure everything, you look over things before you actually like release it. But just because social media is more of a long-term tailoring of your subscriber base, of your follower base, building up reputations, you still want it to be consistent with your Google listing and your website so people can be funneled to that information. You still want information to be easily accessible. You want them to know about your business just from your description, from Facebook, Instagram, all that kind of stuff. And then, of course, call to action, we're going to go back to the website. And the website, again, a lot of call to actions to reach out and generate leads. So as a recap, we want our Google listing, our website, our social presence, all of our marketing material to be consistent. We want it to have the same branding, the same messaging. We don't want to compete messaging between two items. It all needs to work cohesively to generate leads, because odds are something will funnel into something else, and then that something else will generate the lead. So Google into the website, to the website generating the lead, social into the website, or even Google listing into the social media profile to the website to generate the lead. And in addition to consistency, we want it to be informational and impactful. We need people to look at your information wherever it may be, know what your company does within like less than 5 seconds, easily recognizable. We want them to feel comfortable with good reviews, with informational descriptions so they can know, oh yes, that is the exact service I need. And then after that, we want to make sure call to actions are very, very simple. And there's multiple call to actions and multiple methods for people to reach out. So if someone doesn't feel comfortable calling on the phone, there's forms that they can fill out. They can text, they can email. And then we need this all to be easy. We don't need them to go searching for your phone number. We need it to be right there. If their kitchen is flooded, they don't want to go through a hassle of reaching out, scheduling something. They need something immediate. And that also segues into after you've done all this work, if you've created this reputation, if you're generating the leads, you need speed to lead. So as soon as someone reaches out, you need a dedicated person to follow up with them, to schedule something, to get one of your guys out there to solve the problem for them. Because let's say someone reaches out and you haven't followed up within 5 minutes, odds are they've probably searched for someone else, contacted someone else, and that company reached out quicker than you and they got the business. And so there's no point generating all these leads if you're not going to be fast. Speed to lead is key once you get these leads. So all of this is pretty manageable to do yourself. You don't need to be tech savvy. Well, minus the website. There are a lot of website companies and platforms out there that do build websites pretty easily. But you're a business owner. You're busy. You don't have time for all this stuff. So if you're interested, here at FireRock Marketing, we do all of this stuff. We can make this as easy as possible for you to start generating leads. So if you're interested, feel free to reach out. We would love to talk to you. But if you're not interested, no worries. You can still subscribe, get all this free informational content. We're good with either way. But we would love to talk to you if you're interested. But if not, please subscribe. We'd love to have you along for the ride, like I said before. And we appreciate you for watching. We'll see you in the next one.